Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 360 based on novel. So let's start. Master Simo was between the painting and the ink. As he waved his hand, the ink that was the earth began to move. He was like a pen, drawing mountains and rivers on the painting. With only a few strokes, he drew the planet they were on. Wang Lin's figure also appeared in the painting. Even if it is just my avatar, I can still kill you with the heaven-breaking Dao. Master Simo's eyes became cold as he raised his right hand and was about to viciously swing down. However, just at this moment, Wang Lin's eyes revealed a strange light and he shouted, "Heaven-breaking sect Sima Mo." His voice was like thunder and rumbled across the world as if it was the roar of heaven. Master Simo's hands paused for a moment and he stared at Wang Lin. Just at this instant, Wang Lin stepped forward. He raised his right hand and pointed forward. The heavens changed colors and clouds scattered. Wang Lin's figure disappeared and then reappeared before Master Simo. His right hand mercilessly pressed down between Master Simo's eyebrows. Master Simo's expression changed greatly. Due to Wang Lin's roar, he had missed the best opportunity to use the skill. At this moment, he didn't have time to think as he waved his right hand down. One stroke to break the heavens and earth. With one stroke, the mountain and river in the painting were torn apart. Everything collapsed and even Wang Lin's figure in the painting began to distort. A tearing force came from Wang Lin's body and turned into intense pain. Wang Lin's face became pale and blood rushed up his throat, but he suppressed it. Killing intent filled his eyes as his finger mercilessly pointed forward. The power of this one finger was shocking to Master Simo. He quickly retreated while lifting the ink from the earth to block before him. He vaguely felt a life and death crisis from Wang Lin's finger that he hadn't felt in a long time. What kind of spell is this? The black ink instantly blocked before Wang Lin and collided with his finger. At this moment, rays of sword energy erupted from his finger. This was one of Wang Lin's aces, one of the 3 killing moves Wang Lin had prepared for Master Simo. Sword energy shot out like crazy. 1 ray, 10 rays, 100 rays, 1,000 rays, 10,000 rays, 100,000 rays, 1 million rays, 10 million rays. The finger contained a total of 39,999,999 rays of sword energy, and adding Wang Lin's finger, it was 40 million rays of sword energy. The power of 40 million rays of sword energy was heaven-shattering, and they all appeared at once. The 2 deer appeared around Wang Lin's finger. Master Simo's pupils shrank and disbelief filled his eyes. This is. The resulting thunderous rumble was heaven-shaking. The ink formed by the earth instantly collapsed when it collided with the sword energy. The sword energy pierced through the ink and shot directly at Master Simo. The 40 million rays of sword energy formed a storm, with Wang Lin as the center. This storm was filled with sword energy and gave off a powerful sword aura. There was a constant shrill coming from the rotating sword energy. From afar, it looked like tens of thousands of snakes flying, and it was a shocking sight. All of this happened in an instant. In the blink of an eye, the finger with 40 million rays of sword energy landed on Master Simo's body. He coughed out blood and his body immediately moved. It was as if his body was being torn apart, but his hands quickly formed a seal. It wasn't that his body had collapsed, but he had used a special method to avoid Wang Lin's killing move and appeared 10,000 feet away. When he reappeared, an extremely strange scene unfolded before him. There was another sky above the sky and another earth below the earth. The heaven-breaking spell would create another world that would act as a prison. It could also fuse with the enemy, and breaking the painting was the same as breaking the world and using that to kill them. Wang Lin was surrounded by the world formed by the heaven-breaking spell and was unable to get out. Master Simo's expression was ferocious. His hands formed a seal and he suddenly opened his arms. Then he quickly closed his arms and roared, "Break the heavens." When he roared, the world Wang Lin was in rumbled and the painting in the sky began to tear. Wang Lin's figure inside the painting distorted even more. At this instant, all the cultivators on the cultivation planet were shaken. The old man from the Fire Sparrow clan and the people around him had long since began observing the battle with their divine senses. Watching the scene unfold, fear filled his eyes and there was a complicated expression on his face. This person will die without a doubt. The heaven-breaking spell is indeed worthy of its name. Master Simo. Master Simo. I didn't expect him to come. Then the identity of the person who traded me the pills is obvious. Unfortunately, I don't know where the blood from the soul pills came from. The old man from the Fire Sparrow clan shook his head. He had already determined that Wang Lin was going to die. In the holy land of the Armored Dragon clan, the young master had also spread out his divine sense to observe and finally relaxed a bit. This person is very strong, but unfortunately, he can't escape Master Simo's spell. The heaven-breaking spell is amazing, it can form its own world to break. The Armored Dragon Patriarch also withdrew his gaze from the sky and relaxed a bit. He doesn't know his own limit. Master Simo is a third-step cultivator, so even though he only came with his avatar, Master Simo is not someone he can deal with. Even though he killed the Scatter Thunder clan's head elder, he is powerless before Master Simo. However, for him to hurt Master Simo, he is already not simple. Luckily, he has no chance of survival, or else, if he came looking for trouble, it would be difficult to deal with him. However, just as everyone was sure Wang Lin couldn't escape, a chance arose. Intense pain appeared in Wang Lin's body and his eyes were bloodshot. The 40 million rays of sword energy surrounding him shot into the sky. 40 million rays of sword energy, break this painting of heaven and earth for me. Break, break, break. Wang Lin seemed to turn into a ray of light, but it was more like a ray of sword energy made of his body. This ray of sword energy became an extra sword energy among the 40 million rays of sword energy. The storm of sword energy surrounding him gave off a destructive aura and brought Wang Lin toward the painting in the sky. At this instant, the storm collided with the painting. The 40 million rays of sword energy began to slam into the painting, and endless rumbles echoed across the world. Break open. Wang Lin's voice was hoarse as pain came in waves from his body. He coughed out blood and his expression was ferocious. He waved his right hand and the rays of sword energy became even more fierce. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the world formed by the heaven-breaking spell shattered. The world collapsed and turned into a shockwave that swept across the planet. Wang Lin broke free. The moment he broke free, the old man from the Fire Sparrow clan opened his eyes with disbelief and sucked in a breath of cold air. Not only him, even the Armored Dragon clan's young master was terrified. He subconsciously took a few steps back and exclaimed, This. There was also the Armored Dragon Patriarch. His expression also changed and became extremely gloomy. Sima Mo, our battle has just begun. Wang Lin charged out and his right hand pointed at the sky. He shouted, Since you tried to pierce the heavens, then I'll flip the heaven. As Wang Lin spoke, the world appeared inside his eyes and suddenly rotated. The sky became the earth and the earth became the sky. At this moment, the world outside rumbled and began to reverse. Tao Master Blue Dream's heaven reversal spell. Master Simo's expression became serious and he waved his right hand. For the first time, he took out a treasure. A 100-foot-long flag appeared beside him. There were countless restrictions on it. They all appeared at once and gave off the power of time. Time restriction. The 100-foot flag opened and the time restriction flew out. Tens of thousands of restrictions surrounded Master Simo, forming a restriction vortex. At this moment, the world reversed. The sky was under your feet and the earth was above your head. It was a scene that could shock anyone. The Armored Dragon Patriarch's pupils shrank violently. This person has Tao Master Blue Dream's spell. Even so, I'm certain he will die to Master Simo's spell. Wang Lin let out a roar and slammed his hand down. The world rumbled and the sky began to smash down toward Master Simo. Master Simo was surrounded by the time restriction, and his eyes revealed a strange light. Time restriction, dissipate in time. Whether it is the heavens or earth, all will dissipate in the flow of time. Master Simo's arms opened and the time restriction spread out to resist the world. The world began to rumble and became desolate, showing signs of collapse. Forbidden time spell, end of time. Master Simo's voice echoed loudly. Wang Lin's pupils shrank and he was about to use a spell. However, Just at this moment, a laugh appeared. It was very faint, but it entered the ears of every being on the planet. Interesting. If you can beat this third-step cultivator's avatar in 5 breaths of time, I promise your safety in the fallen land. In the holy land of the Armored Dragon clan, the expression of the 9th fallen elder, the Armored Dragon Patriarch, changed greatly, and he exclaimed, "Great Emperor." Master Simo's expression also changed greatly and panic appeared on his face. The voice that came from the void echoed once more. 5 breaths. The time for one to take 5 breaths, calling it an instant might be too fast, but it was just a bit slower than lightning flashing across the sky. Whether it was the Armored Dragon Patriarch, the old man from the Fire Sparrow clan, or Master Simo, none of them believed it was possible to end the battle in 5 breaths of time. After all, the enemy Wang Lin faced was Master Simo. However, after Wang Lin heard this, his eyes shined brightly. Before the echo of 1 inch dissipated, Wang Lin waved his hand and erupted his full cultivation. End of time was a spell Master Simo had comprehended himself from the time restriction, similar to Wang Lin's flowing time. Now that he had used this spell, a storm erupted from the time restrictions. The reversing world trembled violently under this storm. The sky became a sickly yellow and pus began to appear. The pus began to gather and then ruptured, releasing large amounts of dark yellow liquid. The entire world became desolate. Countless cracks appeared on the earth and continued to spread as if the earth was rapidly aging. This all happened in an instant. The sky and earth closing in suddenly collapsed under this spell. The moment the world collapsed, the vortex formed by the time restriction swept up the world and charged toward Wang Lin with an unimaginable, destructive aura. At this moment, the echo of the word one was still strong. Wang Lin's entire cultivation erupted and a powerful light erupted from his body. In his eyes, everything in the world gave of light and gathered around him to form a large light silhouette. Light and shadow shield. When the time storm arrived, the light shadow shield formed and collided with it. The large light silhouette around Wang Lin flashed violently and flickered. When it collided, it caused the flow of time on Wang Lin to increase several-fold. If it was someone else, it would be very difficult for them to resist this time-based spell. However, Wang Lin had also comprehended his own time spell. It was the second spell he had created in his life, flowing time. The moment the time vortex collided with him, Wang Lin waved his right hand. The world rumbled and a large, stone door appeared. This stone door gave off a desolate aura which fused with Wang Lin. From a distance, Wang Lin seemed to be standing on the stone gate and was shrouded by the power of time. No matter how much the world raged around him, he didn't move at all. Only his hair moved in the wind, giving him an ethereal feeling. Also, at this moment, the light and shadow shield shined brightly and a reflective force began to build. Master Simo's expression changed as he took a step forward without any hesitation and pressed his hand down. With this press, a heaven-shaking palm print appeared. It contained all the power he could use at the 5th Heaven's Blight and was filled with killing intent. It immediately broke through the time restriction around the light and shadow shield and collided with it. Waves of thunderous rumbles echoed in all directions and the light and shadow shield collapsed. However, the moment it collapsed, Wang Lin let out a roar and formed a second one. This repeated again. In this brief moment, 3 light and shadow shields appeared. After the third time, the shield collapsed. However, the moment it collapsed, it reflected a majority of the power of the time restrictions and palm print back at the incoming Master Simo. 2. The voice echoed across the void once more. There were still 3 breaths left. No one who was strong enough to observe this battle with their divine sense believed Wang Lin could win in 3 breaths of time. When the word 2 echoed, there was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. When the light and shadow shield collapsed, he was also affected by the impact and coughed out blood. However, he let out a loud laugh and charged forward. As he charged out, Wang Lin launched his killing move. He was fast beyond imagination and the thunder tattoo appeared in his right eye. The thunder had 9 types of accompanying thunder and immediately formed a giant thunder tattoo before Wang Lin. This thunder tattoo was heaven-shaking. The thunder essence was powerful and the 9 accompanying thunders rumbled loudly. This was especially true for the last 3 accompanying thunders. G-Thunder, Bloodline Thunder, and Defying Thunder. These three thunders erupted with great power, causing the thunder tattoo to shine brightly. In a flash, countless silver snakes appeared in the sky. They filled their skill and began to gather toward the thunder tattoo. This thunder tattoo was heaven-shaking, and when it appeared, Wang Lin pushed it forward. It launched its attack on Master Simo just like how it attacked the Void Gate. The thunder tattoo filled the sky and charged at Master Simo. Master Simo's expression was serious. Along the entire way, he had dreaded Wang Lin's thunder spell the most. Although he had never experienced it himself, recalling Wang Lin's attempts to break the Void Gate was enough to make his skin crawl. At this moment, when he saw the thunder tattoo, he recalled the scene of when Wang Lin attempted to break the Void Gate. He waved his hand and the time restriction wrapped around him. "Let's see if your thunder is stronger than my time restrictions." Wang Lin moved like thunder and pushed the thunder tattoo. It absorbed the endless thunder that had appeared from the void. It was like a bolt of eternal heavenly thunder and descended on Master Simo like divine retribution. The two got closer and closer, and that voice from the void echoed once more. 3. As the word 3 echoed, Wang Lin's body fused with the thunder tattoo, and it was impossible to tell them apart. The thunder tattoo collided with Master Simo's time restrictions. The resulting thunderous rumble was heaven-shaking and spread in all directions. Under this violent impact, the time restrictions around Master Simo trembled and collapsed. Under the powerful force of the thunder, the shattered time restrictions smashed toward Master Simo. As the time restrictions smashed toward him, the thunder tattoo closed in. All of this happened too fast. In an instant, the thunder tattoo imprinted on his chest. Master Simo's face turned pale and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. He wasn't able to suppress it as he retreated. Thunder covered his chest and crackling sounds echoed. His injuries got worse as he retreated. He looked horrified. Although he already thought highly of Wang Lin, he still couldn't believe how powerful the thunder was. Even time had to collapse before that thunder. Wang Lin was also hit by the time restrictions when the thunder and time restrictions collided. In an instant, his face turned old and wrinkly and he became an old man. However, the next instant, endless vitality erupted from Wang Lin's body and reversed the aging. He returned to normal, but his face was extremely pale. It was obvious that facing the avatar of a third-step cultivator was an extremely difficult battle for him. Seeing Master Simo retreat, there was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes and monstrous killing intent erupted as he gave chase. However, at this moment, that voice echoed from the void once more. Before the voice finished, Wang Lin's laugh interrupted it. He pierced through the sky at full speed and caught up to the retreating Master Simo, then he waved his hand. A golden pill the size of a fingernail appeared from the void and shot toward Master Simo at an unimaginable speed. It was too fast, and in the blink of an eye, it arrived 100 feet from Master Simo. Without waiting for the golden pill to get closer, Wang Lin roared without hesitation, "Explode." As he roared, a heaven-shattering rumble echoed. It sounded like a cultivation planet exploding, and the shockwave traveled into the distance along with a destructive force. Master Simo was too close and he coughed out blood once more. Terror appeared in his eyes. He didn't expect Wang Lin to have a treasure like this. When he was hit by the explosion of the pill, he felt like the flesh on his body was going to be torn off and even his bones were going to shatter. If it wasn't for the fact that his original body was at the third step and therefore he was able to gather a large amount of resources to refine an almost invincible body, an ordinary cultivator would have long died. Master Simo had refined this avatar after he found that he was trapped at the early stage of Nirvana Void for too long and couldn't get too many Tao spirits. He had refined this avatar hoping it would reach the third step and help improve his cultivation. As Master Simo's avatar was pushed back by the explosion, Wang Lin took a step forward and waved his right hand. The blaze fire mutation crystals he had refined was thrown out. "Explode!" Wang Lin roared as the blazing fire mutation crystals closed in on Master Simo. Just as the golden pill had exploded, the crystals began a second round of destruction. All of this sounds long, but in reality, it all happened in an instant. Not good. The armored dragon patriarch had been paying close attention to this battle. When he saw this, his expression changed greatly. The ripples from the collapse of the golden pill were still there and the thunderous rumbles were still echoing. Master Simo was injured by the impact from before and blood was flowing down the corner of his mouth. At this moment, fear filled his eyes. He retreated like crazy and the feeling of death rushed over him. It was like an invisible pressure that wanted to crush his whole body. The collapse of the blazing fire mutation crystal was even more intense than the dragon collapse pill. It contained heavenly fire and, under Wang Lin's control, had been compressed countless fold. It contained enough power to threaten a fifth heaven's blight cultivator. As the injured Master Simo retreated, Wang Lin's roar echoed and the crystal suddenly gave off a blinding light. This light enveloped the entire planet and lit up the whole world. Master Simo let out a miserable scream and his body began to burn. This dark blue flame didn't burn his clothes, but his flesh and origin soul. His miserable screams were enough to make the heart of anyone tremble. After suffering Wang Lin's 2 direct attacks, Master Simo was seriously injured but didn't die. His vision blurred and he was filled with fear he had never shown before. The only thing in his mind was to escape. 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 However, just as this thought appeared in his mind, a bloodlight flashed inside the fire. A sword that could shake the world shot out from this bloodlight toward Master Simo. This sword was very fast. It was impossible to follow with the naked eye, and even divine sense couldn't keep up with it. Its speed seemed to not be bound by the law of heaven, and it instantly closed in on Master Simo. The seriously injured Master Simo couldn't dodge at all as the blood sword pierced through his chest. Popping sounds echoed inside his body, but he still didn't die. Master Simo's avatar was, after all, at the fifth heaven's blight cultivator, so it was not easy to kill. Wang Lin was fully prepared for this. Dragon collapse pill, blazing fire mutation crystal, 40 million rays of sword energy, and at the critical moment, he even took out the blood sword. In a short period of time, Wang Lin had launched all his killing moves, but in the end was still unable to kill a fifth heaven's blight cultivator. However, to injure him to this degree, Wang Lin could be famous in both the inner and outer realms. After all, he had only completed one essence. If he completed his second, third, fourth, and fifth essences, even if Wang Lin hadn't opened the void gate by then, he could fight against a third step cultivator. Seeing that Master Simo still hadn't died, Wang Lin's expression became gloomy. He raised his right finger at the sky and was about to chase with a spell. However, at this moment, that voice from the void echoed once more. How can my fallen land be a place where you can come and go as you wish? As the words echoed, Master Simo had already escaped to the horizon and he was about to disappear with ripples spreading around him. At this moment, the sky began to distort and an invisible airflow formed a vortex. Just as Master Simo's figure was about to disappear, a finger charged out from the vortex and mercilessly pressed down on Master Simo. This finger was too big, it seemed to be as big as heaven. It was formed by the airflow and was transparent, but it could still be distinguished from the sky. Its speed was indescribable as it descended from the vortex. It was as if it was going to pierce a hole in the earth and collapse the sky. Master Simo let out a desperate cry when it landed on his body. He was unable to dodge or escape. It was as if an unimaginable force had appeared in this world and frozen everything. Even teleportation had been stopped. When the finger closed in, Master Simo trembled and coughed out blood. Large amounts of cracks appeared on his flesh and spread across his body. Finally, his body shattered into countless fragments and his origin soul was torn apart. The wind blew by and the smell of blood spread. It lingered for a long time. The voice from the void never appeared again. The finger returned into the vortex and disappeared without a trace. It was as if nothing had ever happened. The cultivation planet was completely silent. The old men from the Fire Sparrow clan were still staring dumbfounded at everything. They were still terrified and filled with disbelief. The Armored Dragon clan's young master's face was extremely ugly and showed a hint of panic and remorse. He nervously retreated and quickly stood beside his father. "Father, this is bad. This person seems to be favored by the great emperor." His father, the Armored Dragon Patriarch, was gloomy. He interrupted his son and gloomily said, "What is there to panic about? To be able injure and force Master Simo's fifth Heaven's Blight cultivation avatar to retreat means he is very strong. Your father is indeed not his match, but I'm an elder of the Fallen Council and have been loyal to the Great Emperor, while he is a mere outsider. He didn't fulfill the Great Emperor 5 breaths requirement, but even if he did complete it, if he provoked me, the Great Emperor would still kill him. He won't dare to cause me any trouble. If I were him, I would immediately leave to find a place to heal." Wang Lin floated in the air and let out a big breath. Although his battle with Master Simo's avatar was short, it was filled with danger and he was injured. What made him even more cautious was the attitude of the Great Emperor. Although Master Simo was seriously injured, to be able to kill the avatar with one finger means that he is far stronger than Daoist Water. I just don't know how he compares to Dao Master Blue Dream. Also, he is obviously helping me. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He should leave now. After all, he was injured and needed to find a place to recover. However, when Wang Lin's gaze fell on the cultivation planet, his eyes turned cold. "The Fallen Council's 9th Elder. You dared to help Master Simo, so you're my enemy, 9th Elder. I'd like to see what the Great Emperor's bottom line is." Wang Lin rarely provoked others, but once someone provoked him, he rarely let them off. He let out a cold snort and moved like a meteor toward the location of the Armored Dragon clan. He was very fast as he moved like a ray of light across the sky and caused thunderous rumbles. The expressions of all the cultivators watching changed greatly. After watching Wang Lin and Master Simo's battle, no one dared to stop him. The face of the young master of the Armored Dragon clan turned deathly pale as he subconsciously walked back a few steps and exclaimed, "Father, he." The Armored Dragon Patriarch felt his heart drop and bitterly thought about how he assumed Wang Lin wouldn't look for trouble after his battle. Although he was shocked, when he thought about the injuries Wang Lin had suffered, he revealed a ferocious expression. "All second-step cultivators of the Armored Dragon clan, stop anyone from entering the clan." As the mighty voice echoed, more than 10 second-step cultivators flew out to stop Wang Lin. However, just at this moment, the world rumbled and the meteor made of thunder arrived. Wang Lin arrived before the Armored Dragon clan. Just as those cultivators were flying into the air, Wang Lin mercilessly pressed down. Scram! His cold voice was heaven-shaking, and as his hand pressed down, a giant palm print appeared. It smashed down toward the Armored Dragon clan. When the second-step cultivators of the Armored Dragon clan touched the palm print, they immediately coughed out blood. They were thrown away, and the physical bodies of 3 of them immediately collapsed. They weren't able to stop it at all. The palm print landed on the earth and the entire Armored Dragon clan's land immediately collapsed. "A mere small clan dares to scheme against me? You're courting death." Wang Lin laughed as he descended. His gaze fell on the father and son duo of the Armored Dragon clan. The Armored Dragon Patriarch was terrified. He didn't expect Wang Lin to still be so powerful after being injured. He had no confidence in resisting that palm just now. Wang Lin's expression was cold as he pointed at the sky and thunder began to gather. The Armored Dragon Patriarch's expression changed greatly. He grabbed his son and immediately retreated as he screamed, "You dare to kill me? I'm the 9th Elder of the Fallen Council. I was appointed by the Great Emperor himself. If you hurt just a strand of my hair, the Great Emperor will tear you apart." Just at this moment, a ray of sword energy closed in from the horizon. This ray of sword energy was shocking as it crossed the sky and closed in on this location. When the Armored Dragon Patriarch saw this ray of light, the fear in his eyes dissipated and was replaced with ecstasy. "Great Emperor's messenger. Haha, the messenger has come. An outsider like you would dare to provoke me, a fallen elder. You're dead." Not only was the Armored Dragon Patriarch happy, but his son also relaxed and revealed a look of joy. Wang Lin raised his head. He wasn't in a rush to attack but coldly looked up. A middle-aged man wearing red walked out from the ray of sword energy. He gave off no aura of a cultivator, not even Wang Lin detected anything. It was obvious he had cultivated an extremely powerful spell to hide his cultivation. Fallen Council's 9th Elder greets the Great Emperor's messenger. "Since Lord Messenger came, please help." The armored dragon patriarch became respectful and clasped his hand. His son also became respectful. The middle-aged man's expression was cold and he waved his hand. A red jade appeared in his grasp. As the great emperor decrees, the armored dragon patriarch trembled and lowered his head even more in respect. The armored dragon patriarch is stripped of his status as the ninth elder and must take this pill immediately. After the middle-aged man finished speaking, he waved his sleeve and a black pill flew toward the armored dragon patriarch. The armored dragon patriarch's body trembled and his face became deathly pale. He was in a daze while staring at the black pill before him. Poison. Poison life pill. This. The middle-aged man's expression remained neutral and he slowly said, "There are some people you can't provoke and scheme against, so you must pay the price." When he finished, he immediately looked at Wang Lin. His expression was no longer cold. He smiled and respectfully clasped his hands. Subordinate greets young emperor. This video will end here.